o'clock, and I will call the meeting of the Permanent Building Committee to order. We are meeting at the Norton Public Library in the trustees' room, and we are simultaneously Zooming. So, welcome to everyone. Ooh, we have two people Zooming with us, which is nice. Mark,
Yes.
minutes? Okay.
Wait a minute, did I send some around the last time?
I don't believe so.
I don't remember. Let's say no.
Okay, so we'll put the minutes off until our next meeting. Mr. Maderos, was there any correspondence?
None whatsoever. There never is.
Okay.
Send you a postcard from Mount Washington.
You can't go to town hall, nobody knows coffee.
Okay, so no correspondence. And the only thing that happened since our last meeting was that we did have a town meeting back at the high school, which was very nice to get together in person. So that was nice. Okay. We are here, Jim?
I don't know whether you want to, I showed you at the town meeting, and I don't know if I showed anybody else, but the transaction for the property on Mansfield Ave went through
What did?
at $800,000.
Oh, it did.
I didn't see anything on the other land for the town hall. I haven't seen it yet, but it could have gone, I
How
might have
much?
missed it.
How much was it?
800,000.
The town hall went through
Weeks ago,
a
didn't it?
couple of months ago. So, this was the one we were waiting on, so this is really good
Good.
news.
I'd like to see
Yeah.
a sign get put on there now.
Future home off?
Yeah.
Well, I think that would be a good idea if somebody's got the money. It's not in our construction budget, so.
Well,
We couldn't talk the town to put a sign on there, sold and new home of the,
well, the problem you get with that is everybody will keep calling you. When are you starting? When are you starting? When are you
It's
starting?
already happening.
I know.
Yeah, it
You're
is.
gonna make it worse.
yeah.
Okay. So that went through, I'm just writing this down, 800.
Can I ask another
Excellent.
question?
Yes, Jim, of course you can.
I have listened to the selectmen's meeting, and if anybody who's on the Zoom call, could you tell us how well you're hearing us or not? Because I can't understand any of the selectmen on the selectmen's Zoom meeting, and especially the people that are online, the two, usually it's two people are out from the selectmen's meeting. I don't know why they can't attend, but that's their business. But you cannot understand what they're saying and who they made appointments, and I couldn't understand who the person was. And I don't think it was the mask, because the people who were at the meeting, you could understand. Jack, you could understand, and Mike, you could understand. Not so much, but the people that were on the Zoom screen, I couldn't understand at all.
Sometimes it's their equipment, their
Okay, well,
computer.
just let me take a quick poll of our Zoom members. Is anybody having any trouble hearing us? If you are, unmute yourselves and let us know now.
Raise your
I
hand.
can hear you fine.
Oh, wonderful, great.
Can
So
hear them.
so I'm gonna make the assumption that Ken, Tim, and Keith can hear us also. We're doing this off of a laptop in the trustees' room, so if you're having any trouble, raise your hand and let us know.
Mhm.
Okay, so, Sherry, why don't we start with you?
Okay,
How is it going with the school project?
so we just had a meeting this morning on the athletic complex. The surveyor was delayed a little bit because of all the weather, so he just finished today. So we should have the plans end of this week or early next week, but him being delayed doesn't affect our start date at all for construction. Our next meeting is gonna be September 13th. And at that point, we'll have the schematic design that we can go over and look at. One of the concerns was wetlands, so the engineer has just kind of slide the athletic complex towards the school a little bit and rotate it a little bit so that hopefully we won't have any issues with wetlands and conservation.
Okay, and what time on the 13th? I think I'd like to pop in.
That's just, you might be able to, it's on, at 10 a.m. We're gonna open it up to the larger, this is just for the school, admin right now, and then the next meeting, I think, is gonna be opened up to the bigger group that we have.
Okay,
And then we're just figuring out sewer, you know, cause we think it should be done
all right,
before, so that's something that they're just looking at, and should have more information for us on the 13th.
okay, well, if you just let me know when
Yeah.
the real
Yep,
meeting.
you and Jim, yeah.
That'd be great.
Yep, and they might open that one up, I can't remember what they said. They were just waiting to get to more of the nitty gritty stuff before, cause the couple meetings we have just been, I mean, literally 5 minutes.
Background, okay.
Yeah. Not very long.
Well, that's good.
Quick question.
Brian?
The survey, existing conditions, is that what they're doing?
Yeah, so they did, hold on, let me just tell you here. So field work, soil borings, so that's what they were doing. And
Okay.
then stuff for the schematic design.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I have the wetlands delineation. So that's what they were doing.
Cool. That's it.
Okay, so that's nice.
Yeah, and then I just have another update on train if
Oh,
you want me to do that.
absolutely.
So I'm just gonna read what Wade had sent me this morning. They have removed one of 3 old boilers, at the Yell. They're getting ready to install a brand new one next week. There may be space, if space allows for them to, they might have another one. New hot water heater pipes have been run from the boiler room down to the nurse's office. That's where they're tying into the old pipes in the pit to provide heat for the lower section this winter. The pipes were pressure tested last week and passed. And then Karina, our media person, is going to be taking pictures of that project as well as the athletic complex project and putting it on our website so that people can see the updates happening. In regards to all the other schools, no physical work has been done yet. The original timeline has been installing new boilers at the Yale, LG, JCS, and then middle school. And then I asked them if they had a date, and they said the information came from the first draft. The project installation schedule was 7/23. Boilers are scheduled for middle school, JCS, and LG North and Yale from August to September. And then carports are scheduled for all 5 school parking lots, August to January. One of the issues they were having was getting materials in.
Mm-hmm. Especially the steel.
I think everybody's having that problem.
Yeah, for
Everybody's having
sure.
the problem, yeah.
That's the update on train.
Wonderful. It's nice to know we're making progress, it's good.
Yeah, actually
Excellent.
more was done than I originally thought with the boiler, so that's great news.
Brian.
Can we get copied on those emails? I know I reached out to Matt a couple times. I know he's busy, but I don't want to bother him. Is there no way I can get on that email train just to?
I just ask.
Okay.
I
All
just-
right, that's fine.
Yeah, before our meetings, I just emailed them this morning and said, hey guys, can you give me an update?
Okay.
So it's not like they're emailing us, it's just when I get updates, but I can forward this to you.
Yeah, I just didn't even know they were under construction yet. I know they were
It's great.
starting it soon, but
Do you guys all want the email or just?
no, you can just send it to me because I'll. Well, it's up to you
Okay.
guys.
Jim,
And I can give an
Brian, and
update
I.
in case you're not here. Yeah, if you want just us 3.
Jim, Brian.
And me, yeah, that'd be great, thank you.
Because I always feel bad calling Matt. He's so busy, especially with school going back.
Oh, and I'm sorry, Mark, do you need a copy of that to add into the minutes?
Sure.
Since, yeah, Mark, too, since you referenced it, we need to add it into the minutes. That would be wonderful, thank you.
Yep.
Okay, the next thing that we need to address, we did receive 11 proposals for OPM services for the Town Hall Council on Aging projects. And I delivered those to some and some picked them up. I did advise everybody who had a possible conflict of interest to contact the State Ethics Commission. I know, Mark, you did, and you
Yeah.
have filed.
Yeah.
Brian, have you
Nope,
filed?
I didn't have any.
You didn't have any working within the
No,
last 3
nope,
years?
Nope.
Okay. Bob,
Nope.
No.
Jim,
Nope.
and I didn't, and Jack had possible, but he checked and he is in good stead. So we have all done what we're supposed to with the Ethics Commission, which is good. and Sherry and Bonnie. You were the only two that did not get these because you represent the schools and Bonnie's on for the finance committee.
Right,
So you skated, you got out of reading 11 proposals.
thank you.
It's like watching grass grow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bet, I appreciate it.
So, has everyone forwarded to Mark their proposals? We had a ranking system, most advantageous, and not advantageous, and we ranked each of the proposals accordingly. There were three sections, I'm sorry. Whether the project director was a registered architect or engineer or not. Similar experience, we were looking for 5 years with at least 2 town halls and 2 senior centers. Successful completion of public facility projects, past performance, knowledge of Massachusetts State Building Code and other codes, financial resources, capacity and resources, sufficient staff with concurrent projects, verifiable evidence of meeting timelines and budget, qualifications of consultants, and qualifications of sub-consultants. And then we wanted to make sure that they had all included the items that were required in the application, which was a list of 5 references, list of similar size and scope of building projects, list of current projects, cost and estimated completion date, name and title of those assigned to these projects, the non-collusion statement required by the Commonwealth, the state tax compliance, certification of their corporate authority, and proof of insurance. And that's how we ranked them. And we all read them and did rankings, and we have passed those to our clerk, Mark, who was the creator of the spreadsheet, which we are humbly thankful for.
Yeah.
And what are our top
So,
3? We will be,
Is the town doing 3 or 5, do we know?
Mike mentioned 3.
3.
So we will be recommending 3 of the 11 to the town manager based solely on our rankings.
Okay. So if you just enter everyone's scores and just add them up. So the top firm is Vertex Companies.
Vertec is number 1.
Yeah. Answer Advisory, number 2.
Answer?
Yeah.
Formerly Pink, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
some of these firms bought other firms. And STV, number 3.
Okay. Anybody have any comments or concerns about our rankings? I think we did them all independently. Well, I know we did them all independently and without discussion, so I think we've gotten a good, firm view. We'll be sending these rankings over to these 3 over to the town manager to begin negotiations to hire an OPM.
Are
As
we
we go
allowed
forward.
to discuss anything about the choices?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that was strictly
I
a
know-
numbers game.
Okay, I understand. I understand Answer was used for the high school project.
Correct.
Did anybody consult with somebody from the school committees, Answer, from the school department?
Yeah, I
From
think they
anybody
did.
that was involved with them to how cooperative, uncooperative, or?
I think they gave Kevin as a reference.
Kevin O'Neill was a
Yeah, they
reference.
did, Kevin.
They did, but he didn't get back to me.
Oh, did you ask him?
Sherry, do you have any?
I was part of it, I wasn't on the actual committee, but I was definitely part of it, and they were great to work with,
Okay.
yeah,
Sounded that way, yeah.
yeah,
I mean,
They
they're
were
on the,
pink at that time.
they're on the list, they're on number 2, so
yeah.
it's up to the selectmen if they wanna dig deeper or get involved, but they did mention that they had something to do, and one of the other ones I thought briefly mentioned something, but didn't go deep. That's all I
Brian?
have.
I was on the high school building committee. and I thought they did a pretty good job. There was just a couple things that, in my opinion, I didn't think went well. One is the art wall that's still sitting around that we paid for, we can't use. That was a little frustrating, and there was a big change order because the phase construction, there was something, and I'm going from memory here, something that was required in phase 5 had to be installed in phase 2. To me, you know, somebody who's an OPM should know phasing construction, so that's one thing I can add. Other than that, they were good. Go ahead.
Dinah, some of them,
Bob?
I noticed that on the change orders, it was like, yeah, they may put a change order in the sub, and they didn't explain how they quantified the change order, you know what I mean? So I don't know. I think you wanna quantify that. I mean, anyone can sit down and write change orders and
Okay.
excuse, the other thing, and I don't know, when they do the interviews, how do they do the interviews? They do them as a committee? In other words, as a team doing the interviews?
I believe
On the town side, or?
on the town side?
Yes.
I-
Our side, I don't know, are we gonna do any interviews?
The interview process set up at the moment is with the town manager. I would represent the building committee and take our concerns
Yep.
to it. And then I believe there's one other person conducting the interviews.
Right. In a firm that I worked for, we would do interviews and as a team, and we would get together as a team and figure out what questions are most important and rank them, and then use those questions in the interview. And also take turns on who's gonna ask the questions, because, you know, it gives them an opportunity to get more information that way,
Okay.
so. I just don't know what, you know.
Yeah, going along with what Bob said, any interviews I've done, the committee doing the interviews sets up the questions. Whether they rotate them around or how they do it. But every person gets the same questions. And I'm sure, at least the town manager, he's done interviews before, so I'm sure he knows the process and everything else. I'm not worried about that, but I just wonder, are these open to the public? So can we sit in on them, or
Private.
just as a attendee? And
I don't know. I would assume not, since
Yeah, I
they're,
think
Okay.
it'll probably be
they're
private.
interviews for a position. But I can certainly ask the question,
I'd appreciate it if you would.
okay?
Jim, one comment that I had is you mentioned that everyone would ask the same question, get different answers, but I think that's kind of repetitive, and we kind of split those questions up.
Okay, what I meant was, they would ask the same questions to different candidates. I didn't mean that you'd ask, what day is it? Then he'd ask what day it is, and then he'd ask what day it is.
Yeah.
I didn't mean that the whole committee would ask the same
Same question,
question.
okay.
I meant the candidates would receive
All the same.
All
the same
All the same
question.
To make it fair.
Yeah. Okay.
Brian?
Just going through some of the evaluations again, and I'm just gonna put my cards on the table. The way I evaluate them, some of these, and I don't want to give away any names per se. There's two things that frustrate me with this process. One is you can be a great company and do a lot of town halls, but nobody on the team built any of those projects, and that frustrates me. Two, some of them, they were renovations or studies. That's not what we're doing here.
There are a lot
So a
of
couple of
schools,
those that
schools.
are in the top 3, I found that inexperience, I should say. So that's just my 2 cents.
Okay. Is that, what type of question would that be to forward to the interview team?
You know, some of the proposals, have studies and renovations, not really ground up. And with the wetlands consideration with the town hall, I think it's very important somebody knows ground up construction. I'm sure they do, Because a lot of them have done schools or libraries, which is great, but that wasn't the RFP. We didn't ask for schools and libraries. We asked for town halls and senior centers.
A lot of them did have town halls and senior centers.
Correct, but a lot of those, the people on the team didn't work on those projects.
I realize that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
There are a few, so that's all I'd like to say, I guess. So that influenced my,
And the other thing I noticed is, I believe only two, and I don't know if any of them, I could look through like Brian did, but only two mentioned they had experience with demolition of a building where part of our project is demolition.
Correct.
But that could be a question the interviewees could ask.
What would come first?
Yeah.
well,
Yeah, I mean,
demolition's
it's gonna be
last.
easy because the new town hall will
It has to
be
be built
built.
first.
And they're just gonna move
Is that a trick question?
across the street, across the backyard, but. But the other part of the building is gonna be occupied by the fire department, so.
Right.
Correct. We're only checking out that small appendage, right? That's the pantry right now?
Yeah. Do you need a motion to accept the top three?
Yes, we do need a motion to
I'll make a
recommend.
motion that the committee agrees upon Vertex, Answer, and STV as our top three choices.
I'll second that.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? One. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in favor, 1 opposed.
Would it be appropriate now to ask anybody in the Peanut Gallery Zoom audience if they have any comments?
Be nice to.
Hey, that's as nice as it gets.
So,
I was nice to Sherry, I didn't say anything.
His niceness is over now.
okay, let's
Maybe I'll,
see. Mark?
maybe I'll send you a list. It would be, it's almost, as I went through these, like each proposal had like some good things. You almost want to take
Good to
this
bad.
one, this one, this one, this one, and combine it into one firm.
Oh, they were all good.
So you are suggesting
No, so I'm suggesting
committee
maybe
of
as part of
one
the interview.
that we each send Dinah
Yeah.
our concerns about the three
Not
candidates?
Not concerned.
I think,
I'm ju-
Questions.
I can go through and just, for example,
Oh, questions are
one
concerned.
firm talked about COVID-19 and how that changes things.
Mm-hmm.
Talked about understanding this municipal complex, which was good. One firm talked about they had a web-based portal for 24/7 access,
Yes.
constant updates, which I thought was good.
Everybody has that nowadays.
Yeah, a lot of them didn't
They
talk
just
about it.
list it,
They
yeah.
didn't talk about it. One of them did a lot of public outreach, which I thought was
I
good.
thought that was good.
Mm-hmm.
Website, town website, their website, newsletters, school tours, which I thought was good. Just scrolling through the list here.
I thought one of them mentioned Norton for everyone.
They did.
They did,
Obviously,
Yes.
Yeah, they did.
Obviously, they did some homework.
Yep.
Yeah.
right. I noticed one firm, while speaking of the Council on Aging, they illustrated it with a picture of the library.
Yeah.
Yep.
Thought that was not good.
Can I ask you a personal question, Diana?
You got my name right.
Dinah.
Huh?
You said Diana. Dinah.
I know.
That's the mask. We get it.
It got lost.
And the mask just filtered out.
One of the firms, and I don't know if it's one of these top three, mentioned they were involved, I believe one of the associates had a lot to do with Plymouth.
Yes.
So you
Yeah.
said you had no conflicts?
That was 6 years ago. I've been retired for 6 years. And I was just at the beginning of the process, doing the historical research, going from
Okay.
the county courthouse to the big location, preserving
Yeah,
the
okay,
Daniel
I just-
Webster
I
courtroom.
just thought it
Yeah, no, I checked with the
crossed my
ethics.
mind, and I'm going, I wonder if he crossed paths with Dinah.
Yeah, no, I did contact the Ethics Commission
What are you
about
in
that,
it for?
and was told that I had been retired for sufficient amounts of time,
Okay.
which was good. Brian?
So back to Bob's question about the questions for the interview process. should we offer up as a committee questions and then select as a committee, you know, how many questions do we want to come up with? Because I have questions that are more technical.
Send some ideas to Diane.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I
Yeah.
was gonna say, I will transfer, these three
Okay.
recommendations over to Mike and find out when the interviews are gonna be done.
Okay.
Then I think if people would send me your questions that you think are relevant for the interviews, we can compile them, I can get them over to Mike
Mhm.
and make sure that everybody has a copy of what we want to ask.
do
And
you
then
want-
we can go.
Do you want to set a number to those for each of us? Like, I don't want to give you 50 questions, though I could.
Um,
And there might be some repetitiveness.
10.
Yeah, the.
10. 10's
I
a
would
lot.
say limit it to your top 10.
Yeah.
I was going to say
limit it.
5, but okay.
Yeah,
So-
no, limit it to, I'd limit it to 10, and then some of them I think will overlap.
Yeah, there will be.
And then we can compile them and go. I'm not sure how many Mike wants to do at the interview. But I think we need to find out as much as we can in order to have him make his final selection.
Now that we know the top 3, we can
Focus on that.
review those a little bit
Mhm.
tighter.
A little bit tighter.
Yeah.
Let's see, I'm just going to try to find my calendar here. I would think that, my glasses are fogging up and I can't see anything. He would want to do this sometime in September so that we can go out for design services in October. So is it too much to ask as summer's winding down and we all might be heading out on some sort of a last
Hurrah.
minute vacation? Our next meeting is the 13th,
9:13?
9/13.
I might be in Atlanta, but I'll let you know.
Okay.
Today's what, the
Um,
23rd?
If I could hear from everybody, say by the 10th?
Well, that gives enough time to kind of consolidate them. There's how many people are going to give questions, I guess, is one of my questions.
Those who read the proposals.
Probably.
So that's 10 times 7, right?
Mm-hmm.
10 times
Yeah, but we're
6.
not all gonna send.
And we got 5. Plus, no,
Yeah,
Jack read them, right?
I read 'em.
Yeah, I can,
Oh,
I
so
can
I'm just saying,
narrow
like
down.
70 is going to be a lot, that's all.
No,
Plus
not
60.
really. Not to
think so?
consolidate down
Okay.
to about 20, because some of us, it's gonna
Repetitive,
duplicate.
yeah,
Okay,
probably.
yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
they're gonna be duplicate questions. You might be more technical than
Mhm.
I might be, but I may ask a similar question to Bob Maderos, who might,
It's one less Afghan she'll have to do.
Hey, I've seen her do that, man. You get out of the way. It's like a ninja.
13th is-
I saw those wheels, man. Woo, Rumpelstiltskin would be jealous.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, where are we going?
I don't know,
The 13th meeting
the
me?
13th. We could probably meet back here.
Oh, we can see if the big room's available. I think
Yeah.
it works better with Zoom.
I think it works
Yeah.
better with Zoom, so yeah, the big room might be great.
Is that like camp over there or something? Like
It's a
summer program?
library program that's going on.
during the summer, right?
Yeah,
Okay. So it probably won't
so
be here.
let's do that,
Okay. Same bat time, same bat channel.
yeah.
Well,
So if you can get your questions to me by the 10th, is that enough time? Or earlier? The earlier I get them, the better. Because then Mike can set up his, I've advanced you to town manager.
Excellent.
Excellent.
He can set up the interviews and we can be going. If he tells me he's doing the interviews earlier, I'll let you all know that I'll need your questions earlier.
Yeah, that's fine.
Whether or not you should hold on to the other 7, I would for a little while,
Just in case. there's a
just in
reason.
case.
we-
There are other copies over at the town hall for the Board of Selectmen and an archive copy to begin with, but just hold on just in case. Okay. Any other comments or concerns to come before the building committee? Whoa, okay. So 9/13, 21.
6
On
o'clock.
6 o'clock. On the way out, I will ask about meeting in the big room. And I think we're good to go. I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Thank you all, and personally, thank you for reading all these things.